You know, I have had a day, but I won't bore you with the details. Instead, let's sit down, play some Mario World, and I want to tell you the story about getting my Super Nintendo and my Super Mario World as my first game, and why the memories associated with playing that game, well, this game, and the console in general, are worth more than any cartridge or console ever could be. Yeah, I already got through some of this, didn't I? Back down to take the other path. So, I actually got Super Mario World as a birthday gift. Now, mind you, I wasn't actually planning to get Super Mario World. The whole sort of situation with me that I previously mentioned briefly is that I actually was playing the NES at one cousin's place, and the Sega Master System was getting brought over by another cousin who lived closer by. So I actually wanted to get an NES just because it wasn't as readily available to me. And so I kept asking my parents regularly, can I get an NES? Can I get an NES? I want Mario. Can I get Mario? And they were really in the know. They'd been through it before with my older cousins who had a Atari 2600 before they had the Sega Master System. And so they knew that new consoles come around. I mean, the 5200 did exist. Not that it was necessarily massively popular, but it did exist. So rather than rushing out and getting me an NES when I was 4 years old and asking for it, they ended up actually waiting, and I'm glad they did. I ended up getting Super Mario World and a Super Nintendo, which at the time I had no idea existed. The mere fact that, I guess I should back up a little bit here, when I opened Super Mario World, I was opening it as a gift on my 6th birthday. So I waited a good solid 2 years between when I was starting to ask and when I actually got my Super Nintendo. But man, am I glad that I waited. The immediate evolution, not that Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3 aren't great games in and of themselves, but the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World as a starting point for it really set up a specific trajectory for the console and games itself. Because in a lot of cases, actually outside of Mario, at least as far as I'm concerned, but in a lot of other cases, the Super Nintendo versions of those Nintendo franchises really made the NES equivalents obsolete, at least as far as I'm concerned. It's why I don't have an NES as part of my collection. Mind you, I've never owned one, but I never had a burning desire to pick one up because I always felt that, for the most part, the Super Nintendo effectively replaced what an NES could do. Yeah, I'm just concentrating here. Yeah, Yoshi's back. But really, the more important part is that I got my first console and I got my first game. And yeah, don't let anyone tell you that they were amazing at games when they first started. Nobody is. I remember being absolutely terrible at this game. Now I can basically play it blindfolded because I have a camera, well, a phone, recording it, gameplay wise, directly off the screen in front of me, which next time I'm gonna move it on a bit of an angle. But for now, I'm living the dream. And I'm still able to navigate everything. Mind you, I am like screen peeking on my own screen a little bit, just kind of keeping an eye on it. But yeah, there's definitely some invisible jumps that I've been making and landing. So if you wonder why I get hit occasionally when I probably shouldn't, if you know me and you know how I play, that's why. Not that I'm making excuses. It's my own decision. But similarly, it was my own decision to ask my mom, more so than my dad, because he was usually outside and working on stuff, but he did still play with me. But yeah, I would regularly play with my mom. And she would help me get through those really tricky, hard sections that nowadays are a breeze to me and to most people that play games. But when you're a kid just starting out and you don't have that muscle memory, you don't have that dexterity, it can be a really big help to have someone who's maybe not necessarily more experienced, but they have more of that adult. I don't want to reuse the word muscle memory, but or dexterity for that matter. I'm trying to think of another word for it. Maybe it'll come to me. Regardless, it was really helpful having someone that was, an adult who was playing the game with me that could properly parse through those really difficult sections and comprehend the different variables that get thrown at you when you're a kid, and all of it's new, and it's not second nature. Yeah, let's go. Oh no, it's gonna run out. It's gonna run out. I made it. So having my mom there, as well as my older cousins and my dad on occasion to play through Super Mario World with me, as well as other games, was incredibly beneficial because it allowed me to make progress in the game at a steady pace without feeling like I got stuck. Even though later on I did come back and play through it by myself, like I am doing now, a whole lot. And I beat it plenty of times over, getting all 96 stars multiple times, whether it's on my original Super Nintendo cartridge or the Switch Online or Wii U before that, or actually, no, probably the Wii, if I'm remembering correctly. Regardless, it was still something that was like, it was a game I went back to beat for myself. Oh no! I just got that! Damn it! Alright. What was I talking about? Oh my goodness! This is not going according to plan. Oh well. Such is life. I am saying a lot of ums. I'm sorry about that, because I'm not going to be editing these out. This is a first. Alright, back to being normal size, or big size, however you want to phrase it. Oh, well, that didn't last long. So, in playing Mario World, as bad as I'm playing it now, apparently, probably played it worse as a kid, I'm really grateful that, and I wish that Nintendo would bring back, trading off co-op or multiplayer, however you want to phrase it. rather than having everyone play together at the exact same time, I really feel like the ability to swap one person playing and then another person playing was incredibly beneficial to me being able to make progress as a kid. I also just noticed that I only took 2 hits, which feels weird for a Nintendo game. I feel like it should have been 3, but I guess they're expecting you to make a mistake in the beginning, be a little more lenient. Anyways, time to blow up an old building. Yeah! So, really, the ability to play and then trade off, to me, is something that's lacking and missing in games nowadays. I really wish they would bring that back. Not that I'm against playing at the same time as other people, but in certain genres and things like 3D platformers, stuff like Rayman Legends or Rayman Origins come to mind, which, funnily enough, those are getting re-released. Um, but they really, really do benefit, or rather would benefit, from having the ability to trade off back and forth. It's not like the game is necessarily super hard. Oh man, I messed that up. It's not like the game's necessarily super hard or anything. Specifically, Mario World, Rayman Origins, and Rayman Legends are a completely different beast. But the ability to trade off in this game and subsequently in those games really would have made a big difference for people who aren't good. And that's probably the worst way of describing it, because it's not a matter of being good or bad. I mean, that is the case, but people who are less experienced versus people who are more experienced. And this has gone sideways. Oh, my lords. Why didn't I wait for that? Whatever. It'll be back. Oh, no. All right. Of course. Yay. Oh, come on. I used to have this down to a science when I was a kid. Well, 2's better than none. So, yeah, I really wish that would come back. It allows people who are more, inexperienced is probably the right word. It allows people who are inexperienced to play with people who are experienced without having the experience ruined for them, while still allowing the person or people who are experienced to help carry the person who's less experienced ahead and move them a bit forward. Wow. Yoshi's stomach's gonna feel about as good as mine in a few seconds, if that plant is anything like I would expect it to be. Oh, come on! Anyways, my point here is that it'd be nice to be able to get back to that. Oh no, Yoshi! It would be nice to get back to that kind of gaming where you can trade off, having people take turns. And I understand why that's not the case anymore. It prevents people from being engaged. I need to try and go back and get that secret of the cape. As hard as that's going to be, but whatever. I definitely would appreciate that coming back in Mario titles. I mean, like Mario Wonder, for example. It would have been awesome for that to be an option. I'm not saying it has to be the only mode. I think that we're past the point of me saying a game should be different than it is. But I think it having options that didn't, or rather don't currently exist, but did previously exist, would have been really cool. Don't like how much I'm saying so again, sorry about that. Gathering my thoughts while playing a game. Oh, come on, man. I gotta adjust the next time. Next time. Next game. Oh, the next game's gonna be fun. That is a little secret of mine. Oh no, Yoshi! Oh no, the cape! Oh, man. Oh! Yes. Are you kidding me? Okay, let's see if that guy responds. No? Really? Do I need to go further? Nope. Well, I get to replay this level again. Or just die. The point is, though, is that I keep harping on about it. Yeah, co-op's just for platformers is just not the same as it used to be. For better and worse. I don't know. I always enjoyed the watching someone else and studying how they were playing and learning how to be better based on, oh, come on. From off screen. Well, not really from off screen, but from off screen for me. So, yeah, I would appreciate that kind of mode being back. But more specifically to Mario World, I remember actually journaling about it at school. So I got it for my 6th birthday with the Super Nintendo, also a TV. I fully recognize how lucky of a kid I am to have gotten that, and I do not take it for granted one bit. Whoa! Okay. Alright, gotta focus up here. Oh, come to me now. Ah, just right. Nice. Okay, good. So yeah, getting a TV with Super Mario World and a Super Nintendo for my 6th birthday was absolutely fantastic. There's a 3rd exit there? Right. Huh. I'm trying to remember where that is. Huh. I usually can remember this. Performance pressure, let's just say. I'll go this way. The point is, though, is that in journaling it, it is a really cool experience. And if I can find it one day, believe me, I will be sharing that here on the channel. It's probably lost somewhere in my parents' attic, if they even still have it. And yeah, I remember vividly talking about the adventures with Yoshi and the levels I had beaten and, you know, things that I had learned through playing the game in terms of how to get better, what was hard, what was easy, all that stuff that kids, heck, people do. I still do it. I'm doing it right now, really, right? And oh, I thought I could go up there. No? Oh, all right. I really wish I found it for this video. Just, didn't have the time for obvious reasons. It's called being a dad. Oh no, why did I do that? So, with how time intense and complicated gaming has become, I really just knew it was time for me to go back. Go back to something simpler. Go back to something that could really... I did not mean to do that. Oh well. Something that meant a lot to me and means a lot to me. And I have a lot of memories attached to. Whether it's playing with family and friends, trying to unlock all 100. Yes, I thought there was 100 exits in the game. Because why would there be 96? I got a star beside it cool, sure. Maybe that just means I completed Star Road because Star Road was the last one that I needed to get when I was a kid. Just an alternate route for Star World or Star Road. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that. Uh, However, oh, come on now. Yes. Getting all 96 and trying to find the remaining four, I must have spent at least like 10 to 20 hours doing that. But that's part of the fun, honestly. Remembering back, just being like, there's gotta be four more. There's gotta be four more. And I remember Forest of Illusion just completely losing myself in it and getting lost and not knowing how to get out and needing to find those alternate exits. And this was before the time of the internet. So, yeah, sure. There was Nintendo Power and a strategy guide if you had it. And there was trying to find it with, family and friends or shared knowledge on the schoolyard. But really, I remember finding it like ourselves. And I say ourselves because I mean like me, my family, my friends. No one already knew. We just collectively tried together, and that's where the trading off of controllers and everything also came into play. You didn't get exhausted from constant engagement. You had an opportunity to decompress, digest what you had done, see what someone else was going to try and do. Oh, I've made a horrible mistake. And really just lose yourself in the experience of playing the game with someone else rather playing the game alongside someone else rather than losing yourself in the experience of actually, why did I do that? Playing the game. And both are valid. Both are good. There's just something special about, well, I mean, this era of Nintendo in particular, but Mario World, it wasn't like Mario 1, 2, or 3. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. Not that those were bad games per se, but, and I'm going to be a Mario 2 apologist for sure, if that is something you consider, because I actually am glad we got the version of Mario Brothers 2 that we got in North America. I just feel like it has, I know it's not actually Mario Brothers 2. It's Doki Doki Panic. But the reskin that they did to it, it just added personality to the cast of characters. Never mind the fact that it did add characters as well, that just carried forward and really helped evolve what Mario was. Wow, that was lucky. Okay, guess I'm not getting that. That's fine. Trying to look to the side and under. This is gonna be awkward. Oh boy. So, your first game. Apparently I'm not going to get past this without moving the camera. What was your first game? And what memories do you have attached to it? Let me know down below in the comments. And let's keep talking about it. Because there's something special about first games. And I guess going back to Mario Brothers 2 and 3. Never mind Mario Brothers 2. I already talked about that. But Mario Brothers 3 was great. But Mario World took the difficulty of Mario Brothers 3 and dialed it back just a notch. That as far as I'm concerned, makes it a much better entry point to gaming, not just the Mario series. And that's something that I'm really grateful that I got as my first Mario game. I can even imagine just getting an NES a few years before the Super NES. Not even a few years, probably would have been close to a year before the Super NES came out. Not that I would have complained. I would have been happy just to have my own games. But, yes! Oh no! The ability to have this sort of, what at the time was a next-gen experience, really, compared to what I knew, even though it had been out for a year-ish prior to me getting it, it really set me on the right path in terms of just knowing what was out there for games, being on the cutting edge, which, at least cutting edge in terms of consoles at the time. I know PC was a completely different ballgame. And we'll get to PC eventually, because I did enjoy myself some PC gaming over the years. However, getting back to actually Mario World itself, it still holds up. It is such a banger of a game. And yeah, there really isn't much more I can... Whoa! I forgot about this, Oh no! I shouldn't have let him get that. Oh well. Ah! Yeah, there's... Oh, come on, man. Cheap. Nah, I'm just blind. You can only see, like, what, probably, like, realistically 2/3 of the screen, I think, right now. So. Oh, no, 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 no! Yes. There's gotta be something here. Gotta be something here. Yes! Oh, no! Wonderful. I can play okay if I shut up. Oh, come on. That was like a pixel. That was bad judgment on my part. I don't know. I remember all of the things about Marvel. It's realistically to me, it's like, okay, there's categories of games, right? Like, there's games that no game is perfect. But realistically, I cannot possibly think of a better first game than Mario World. It is so polished and accessible. And I think that's what I prefer about it over Mario Brothers 1, 2, or 3. It's just the simplicity and elegance of it, which is a product of its accessibility. It isn't meant to be harder. It isn't meant to be tricky. It's meant to be expressive, both itself as a game and to allow you to express yourself as a gamer playing it. Sure, you're going from left to right to beat the levels, but there's a lot of creative freedom in how you get there. Whether it's the cape, the fire flower, Yoshi, constantly getting killed by enemies like I am. there's there's a lot of different ways. And oh, come on. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now we run through. Nice. Yeah, this is getting to the point where I gotta play it properly. Also got my favorite new shirt on I got for Father's Day. But seeing as we're here at Morton's Castle, which by the way, the Koopa kids, please bring them back properly. They keep reinventing all these Mario characters when they've got literally the best characters here. I'm sorry. Not that I'm not a fan of Bowser Jr., but can we get his siblings back? Right? Anyways, a reminder to let me know about your first game down below that you owned. Not that you played, but the first one that you owned at home. And your story is related to it. There's a reason that when I started doing stuff on YouTube, I named the channel Down the Warp Pipe. It's not there anymore because, well, I had to grow into Uncle Ty. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad that one particular kid got me there. You know who you are. Eventually you'll see this. Or maybe not. Who knows? But just remember, games are great. Go play some.